Hi folks, Sandro here with more cartoon news and shenanigans, and today we are talking about the series finale of Arthur. That's right folks, the final episode after 25 seasons. The show finally kicks the can and we got the final episode. I'm going to be talking about that today really quickly. It's not a long video, it's a pretty short discussion. Mostly because the episode was so short. Oh my god. We have to talk about that too. But before we get into it, I just thought I'd ask you guys for a subscribe. I'm only 10 subscribers away from 700, guys. Only 10. That's kind of a milestone. I guess 750 is kind of a bigger milestone because then you're like, what, 3/4 of the way to a thousand? Yeah, I'm trying to get 1,000, folks. I want to do this full time. Absolutely. So every sub counts. God bless if you just did that. Thank you very much. Without further ado, we're just going to have a brief discussion on this monstrosity. By the way, that's Francine. uh, Francine really didn't make it out so good. She didn't age. There's some people in this world, they age very gracefully. There's other people in this world, they're Francine. Yeah, that is legitimately Francine, and good God, what have they done? So yeah, we're gonna talk about it. Arthur looks actually pretty decent. That's what I imagine like an older Arthur would look like. I didn't expect him to have that much hair though, but actually they should have made him have more of a thicker beard. You could see his beard there; it's very light. He has a couple of hairs, right? He has a couple hairs there on his chin. Really hard to see the image there, but yeah, he does have a beard. But I think they should have gone a little bit more on the mustache or the beard there, a little bit thicker. Anyway, it doesn't matter. It doesn't. Holy shit, was this off? This episode was terrible. I ended up giving before I did my live stream yesterday, I talked all about the episode. Not a lot. I gave you guys a little bit of a teaser here and there about what I was going to be talking in this video. Some of the points that I thought were, pretty hilarious in my opinion were Arthur's parents are never shown here. Are they dead? Are they in an old age home? We don't know. We don't get to see his parents in the final episode. Actually, should I even start there? No, let's not start there. Let's not talk about Arthur just yet. Let's start at the beginning. Okay, so this is the last episode of Arthur. You were thinking that maybe for the last episode they would do an hour-long special, right? They do not do an hour-long special. It's not an hour-long special. It's not a half an hour-long special. It's a standard episode, but there's a twist because they actually just didn't give a shit. They didn't give a shit. Half the episode, okay, so I watched the full episode, right? Half the episode is about Buster Baxter being a blabbermouth. That's what the episode's about. Buster being a blabbermouth, right? They make a joke like about how many surprise parties throughout Arthur's history they've had. They make a little couple of jokes here and there. They allude to a couple of older episodes, they mention that Buster's such a blabbermouth that he said this secret and that secret and that secret, and Arthur, one of the characters, mentions that hey, Arthur told everybody that I was a thumb sucker, and that was a really old episode, right? These are the episodes I watched when I was a kid. Arthur imagining everybody in his underwear. They made a couple of references to older episodes, but my God, this is the last episode and you're going out like this? What? The last episode of the show, and it's just a stupid ass episode about Buster Baxter being a blabbermouth. Are you is this a joke? I don't understand. This has to be one of the worst last final episodes I've ever seen. And who knows? Maybe this isn't the final episode. Maybe the show 5 years from now gets picked up for a season 26. We keep seeing it. Streaming services, right? Futurama canceled 3-4 times. It gets picked up for another season, gets picked up. So I don't want to say this is the end of Arthur, but holy Christ, if you're ending your show like this, You are terrible. PBS, what happened to you? What happened to people? They went woke. They went broke. I guess that's it. Yeah, so they have Arthur has been a show that has been getting very, very, woke throughout the years. Mr. Ratburn getting gay. Somebody asked me in my live stream yesterday, what were my thoughts on Mr. Ratburn being gay in a kid's show? I always stand by the opinion. I don't want to see the targeting of the homosexual kind of stuff towards children. I don't want to see this being aimed at children. I don't want to see it in kids stuff. Back in the day, not even like just like 10, 20 years ago, guys, this isn't a long time ago. Networks just banned it outright, right? Like they would make alludes to it. Perfect example, Hey Arnold, right? They had a teacher named like Mr. Simmons. He was very much alluded to be gay, but they never like outright said it until the Hey Arnold movie in recent times, right? So, this is an example of like how they used to do it. It used to be like more hidden, it used to be more like it's in the background. If you notice it, you notice it. If you don't, you don't. Arthur said, screw this shit. Mr. Ratburn is gay. And he that's why I used Hey Arnold as a great example there, because Mr. Simmons was their teacher. Mr. Ratburn is their teacher. So yeah, I just thought it was something else, folks. Something else that they would go so hard on the sort of themes of adulthood here. I don't think this should be aimed at children. I really don't. People disagree with me all the time. I get all kinds of comments in some of my older videos where I talk out about this stuff. But I don't want to see it in kids' shows. Same thing with Blue's Clues. Blue's Clues is crazy. Blue's Clues has lost their mind. They did all kinds of propaganda. Oh, Lord almighty. They did a pride parade. I talk about this a lot. You guys just go online, type in the Blue's Clues pride parade, and they basically promote like every last thing from incest to transgenders, non-binaries. They the ultimate virtue signal from Blue's Clues over there, and they're just indoctrinating children with shit like that. That is propaganda. Mr. Ratburn being gay, not necessarily like it's not propaganda, but it's just like I don't want to see this sort of adult theme things in children's shows, right? I feel like that theme, the themes of like puberty and stuff, they should save that for more mature shows or, adult shows. Like Family Guy. If you want to do like a story about the teacher being gay there, you can explore it in full. Whereas like the kids shows, it's like, oh, the teacher's gay. Okay, everybody note that down. The teacher's gay now. It's just, it's not as clean. It's not as efficient. I just would rather not have that in there. I'm Catholic. I prefer the old ways where we just, it was there, but they never it was never a focus. We didn't start putting rainbow flags in the shows, which allows me to go right next to this, the next segue here. Of course there was a rainbow flag in the last episode of Arthur. They couldn't help themselves. So in the middle of like all the episodes of Arthur, halfway through, of course, we have a gay pride flag. A gay pride flag in the episode drawn by a little girl on her shirt. And of course, they had to include that footage. They had to include the footage. Of course, they did. So Arthur, it shows random kids. They were interviewing them. Like they're like, "What do you think about Buster being a blabbermouth?" And they're like, "Yeah." They do those in the middle of like Arthur episodes. And then we jump to the final episode. So yeah, again, PBS went very woke, and maybe since Arthur is getting canceled, it's a sign that they went woke. Who knows? But just to end up let's get to the end here. The ending, the final episode. It's only about like 10. It's not even 10 minutes. It's like 5 minutes of noteworthy footage. It's just a really bad last episode. I compare it to regular show. This is a comparison I made in my live stream yesterday. I compare it to regular show. And the reason I did that is because there's kind of a twist in here. By the way, spoiler, obviously. I mean, if you've been watching this video, obviously spoilers. But yeah, so here's the twist. Here's the twist. So the kids, the episode sort of starts out with the kids going to a library, and they go in the very very back. They make a joke about like how they haven't been in the library in a really long time, and I didn't know if that was like a joke about Arthur. Like, over I noticed that in the final episodes they had Muffy using a phone, right? Like when I was a kid, the Arthur characters like used the computer. You know what I mean? So like I guess the Arthur characters evolved as the children did. So they all have phones now, right? For example. So they crack a joke about like not being in a library for a really long time. So I'm assuming they just haven't used the library setting as like a plot point for a really really long time. There's the main guy who created Arthur. I think he was in there voicing one of the characters. And Arthur gets a book by mistake there. Yeah, I'm assuming this is how the creation of Arthur was made. Like some guy who was drawing animals got to pitch a television show, and they kind of alluded to like that was how Arthur was created there. I don't really know the whole backstory about Arthur, but I'm gonna go ahead and take it that's how it was created. Um, and so they go in the back, and there's this like gypsy fortune telling octopus thing. I like you guys ever see the movie Big with Tom Hanks, where it's like there's the Zoltar machine. There's this weird like fortune telling octopus thing board game. I don't know what the hell they were playing there, but okay. Some magical octopus thing. And it tells them about what their careers are going to be in the future. Okay, so they're all sitting around this table or standing up or whatever, and they're picking up cards, and they're imagining. The octopus tells each of them. It starts with like Francine, and then it goes to Muffy and Buster and whatever. We basically get to see an idea of what the characters think the future is going to be, which is a huge waste of time. This entire episode, they should have just said 20 years later. They should have just jumped right to the future. This episode wastes time on nonsense, folks. On nonsense. It's just the characters are standing around being like, "Oh, I'd be a pretty good businesswoman in the future." Yeah, so we get like various things. So like Buster, the octopus tells Buster that he'd be like a good teacher. So it cuts to the future. We get to see Buster, and he's teaching a bunch of the brain, the brain character from Arthur. Yikes. I honestly don't think Buster would be that good of a teacher. I gotta be honest. I don't know. Buster does. I always felt like Buster was always eating food and being a slob. I thought he was going to be like like a chef, like a cook. Yeah, right. Like Buster. Out of all the characters that would be a chef, like Buster would be the one, right? Always just eating food and being a slob. Being a lazy fellow, yeah. How does he not end up as a chef? I don't know, but apparently they thought a teacher would be a great role for Buster. So Buster ends up becoming in his imagination, he becomes a teacher. Then we get to cut to Francine, and this is the best part of the whole episode. Oh my god, we get cocaine Francine. There, I put a picture up on that. Where is it? Up there somewhere. You guys could probably see a picture up there right now of this cocaine drugged out like Francine. Now remember, this Francine right here where my mouse is, this is what she looks like in the future. The picture that is whichever way is she just looks like a coke addict. I don't know why they would draw her like that, but whatever. Yeah, that was terrible. Like it made me laugh. Like I stopped the video so I could have a chuckle because I'm like, oh my god, what happened to Francine? Yeah, so Francine does drugs. Okay, I made that up. She becomes a boss woman. She works at an office. That's what the octopus tells her. The octopus tells her she's going to be a businesswoman, and she imagines life in an office, and I guess she's like a chain cigarette smoker or something. Maybe she's just an alcoholic. Maybe that explains why she looks so cracked out of her goddamn mind. But yeah, I guess the future was not kind to Francine. Either way, she either looks like a meth addict or she looks like a very woke left-wing businesswoman, we got the woke wig style there. That's a term I kind of coined there. The woke wig. Yeah, we got you can see this haircut. Just look at this haircut. Like nobody has hair like that unless you're like a feminist. You know what I mean? That is that haircut for the feminists. So they went with that haircut. So yikes. And again, oh yeah, I almost forgot. So the parents, right? So we never get. Let's take that off there. Let's talk about the parents, right? So Arthur's parents, we don't get to actually no, let me finish. Whoa. I'm skipping ahead here. Muffy, what was Muffy told? Muffy was told that she would be a really good public servant. Yeah, so Muffy ends up being the mayor. Muffy, yeah, in the actual future, she ends up being the mayor, but she imagines like she's gonna be a. I can't remember what Muffy was, but she was a public servant, so yeah. Yeah, I guess whatever. So Muffy was kind of like not important here. But the other one was Arthur. We don't get to see Arthur. The octopus glitches out, and we don't get an answer. Arthur doesn't get to imagine his own future. So then, the octopus just magically starts functioning after they close the door and leave. And, that old guy, the creator of Arthur, who's voicing the character for the episode here, he gives Arthur a book and tells him to keep drawing or whatever. And you could see here, Arthur is drawing and telling stories. You can see that book in his hand there in that image. And yeah, so this is where it leads into the octopus malfunctions after everybody leaves. And then it shows the audience. It says 20 years later. We get to see what's going on with everyone. DW is a police officer. I don't remember the character Bud. I'm not sure. She runs into some like old like guy that gets a ticket, and she's a police officer. That was kind of interesting. Yeah, I guess DW always was kind of bossy, so kind of makes sense there. The parents, I don't know why I keep coming back to the parents, but I find it funny. It's just like Arthur's parents get like, are they dead? Are they in an old age home? Are they crippled? Are they, what happened to his parents? We don't get to find out. This is why I wanted them to do a full episode. Why would you waste the half of this episode is wasted on a stupid Buster episode? What a train wreck. I would have liked to see like what happens to Mrs. McGrady. She already had white hair, when the show was going on. Is she dead? It would have been interesting to see like characters address like the passing of some of the older characters, right? Is Mr. Ratburn dead? Is I don't know what other characters. Maybe the brain. Maybe an experiment went horribly wrong and something. He exploded. He just exploded. Screw it. Yeah, I don't know what the heck, but we don't get to see a lot of the characters. We get to see most of the main cast there, but I thought that was interesting that DW was a police officer. Arthur, we're going to get to him. Francine does become a businesswoman in the end, and you can see her right there. Muffy does become the mayor. She becomes the public servant, just like the octopus said. And Buster is a teacher. The only other one that was interesting to me, personally, was Binky Barnes becomes a newscaster or a weatherman. I was talking in my stream about that choice. I personally thought Binky Barnes being the bully, being this sort of angry, tough guy. I always thought I saw, Binky Barnes being a boxer, like a fighter, or something, him being a weatherman. Did they ever allude to that? Like Binky wanted to be like a television personality. Is there an episode like that? I don't know. Maybe there is. I haven't been watching Arthur for years. Maybe there is an episode that dives into Binky. But when I was a kid, Binky Barnes was kind of like the class bully, but he had a heart of, he was kind of like the class bully, but he had a heart of gold. It's kind of like Buford from Phineas and Ferb kind of situation. So yeah, I just kind of seen him. I would have imagined him being like a boxer or something, at least like a fighter. But I guess weatherman, I guess newscaster, whatever you want to call him, reporter. I don't know. Yeah, so that's Binky, and then we'll jump into Arthur. We'll finish up with Arthur. So it is revealed that Arthur is an artist or a storyteller. He's been writing a book. The book is called Arthur, right? So this is a very interesting sort of gimmick here because it shows the first episode of the show, or in the graphic. I think Arthur was a graphic novel first, maybe. Yeah, I think so, right? It shows Arthur writing the Arthur books, which is very interesting. So, like, maybe the entire time, maybe none of the episodes ever actually happened, right? No, I mean, I guess they did, but I compared it to regular show where at the very last, spoilers for regular show, the very last episode pops, it is confirmed. It is confirmed that Pops has been watching regular show the entire time from heaven. Yeah, from heaven. He kind of dies at the end, Pops. And I thought that was a really good ending. That the idea, Pops always said like jolly good show, and that's how the show ends. He literally says jolly good show. And I was like, wow, what a great, it's like Pops was watching it all happen from heaven. That's such a great, the cycle has been going on and on. So I really like that. I really like that Pops the entire time. He was kind of secretly alluding, like, jolly good show. I like that. I really like that it ended like that. I enjoyed regular show. I thought it was masterfully ended. Like not 8 or a 9 out of 10, probably. I don't think I'd give it a 10 out of 10. Because some of the earlier seasons weren't that good and they had lackluster animation. But yeah, regular show did this a million times better than Arthur. People were even asking me in my chat, like, which shows, I've always said that Star versus the Forces of Evil had a really bad ending. I just don't like that ending. Like, magic is gone. So if they ever wanted to do a movie, it's like, what do you do a movie on? Like, getting the magic back, even though that was the whole point of the last season, was to get rid of the magic? Or maybe there is still magic out there. I don't know. Whatever. I'm sure if they ever had to make a movie, they could ass pull some excuse. But I just don't like the end. I don't like endings where characters lose their powers. That's just my take. Okay, so I was not a fan of that. Was not a fan of that at all. In Star versus the Force of Evil, but even the some of the endings that I don't like that show. I still think that Star versus the Forces of Evil had a way better ending than Arthur. This is a 2 out of 10. This was we get 5 minutes of them in the future, not even like 2 minutes of them at the very end, and God, it wasn't fulfilling. I didn't feel fulfilled. This episode was a train wreck. There's no other way to put it. It was just terrible. And yeah, the reveal of Arthur just being the author of a book series called Arthur, it breaks the fourth wall. It's kind of a joke, I'm sure it made some people smile, but I was like, wow, this is really dumb. I was just like, okay, that's the ending, huh? All right. Regular show did that similar ending better, I would rather, it would have been cooler if he like wrote a book about like, what if he made a book called Arthur and Friends that features all of their adventures and he goes through each of the books and they, the art team picks out the 10 most popular episodes of all time. And we see Arthur holding these books titled like Arthur and Friends, here's this episode about, the library card, something, what is it? Yeah, I can't remember the song. It's like, when you have a library card, working hard is when you have a library card. Yeah, I can't remember the song. It's been a while. Holy crap. Yeah, way too many years. But yeah, folks, you let me know what the lyrics were to that goddamn library song. If you made it this far in the video, please comment down below. Let me know what's going on. Did you like this? I did not think it was good. I really thought it was bad. I really did. I didn't enjoy what they did. I think Muffy, the only one that like really makes sense to me was Muffy being like a mayor. She was already a rich character. Usually rich people tend to run for these like office, but these big high-end positions. A character like Muffy, she would have been able to go, due to being rich, she would have been able to go to a high pristine school, and she would have had the backing to become a politician. Francine becoming a businesswoman, okay, I guess, why not? Really, they could have gone in any direction with Francine, I feel like. But I think Buster was the biggest missed opportunity. He should have been a chef, and Binky should have been a boxer. As for all the old characters, would have been great to see if they were dead or alive. And that's gonna be it. Right? Actually, I was just thinking, wait a minute, what about Arthur's grandma? There's no way she's alive 20 years later, right? They'd show her like running around like just this decaying vampiric corpse. Just yeah, Arthur's grandma would just be this dried out husk of an entity. Yeah, and Arthur's grandfather too. They would probably be dead, right? Like, there's no way. But yeah, let me know all your thoughts in the comment section now. Please like, please share, and most importantly, please goddamn subscribe. We're 10 subs, folks. 10 subs from 700, and then we got to get to 1,000. Thank you very much, everybody. Peace out. Bye-bye.